Hey, Amy Posner here, and I want to talk to you today about a topic that has come to my attention more than a few times in the last couple of weeks, and that is discounting your work and or offering free trials. I want to tackle that topic for you in this short video. So I've had a couple of questions specifically about discounting work. So I had a woman who had a client. They had their discovery call. They found out that they were a good fit. She liked the project they had. They liked her skills and who she was. And so she came back with a price, and they told her they could only afford about half. And was it possible to do the project for half? And she wasn't sure. She felt like maybe it was something she should do to get some experience. Maybe it wasn't a good idea because it didn't make her look great. And so she wanted to know what was the recommended way to proceed with a request like that. My feeling is you don't discount your work. As a professional service provider, I think what needs to happen is you need to have a price, and the price is the price, period. If somebody can't afford something, it probably means that you're not a fit. This is no reflection on you. It has nothing to do with you. Not every client is a fit for you. I mean, think of anything else you might sell. Say you have a used car and you want to get $5,000 for it, and somebody offers you $2,500. They're not a fit as a customer. They only have $2,500 in their budget, and your car costs $5,000. Period. End of story. This is very similar. And the same way that you wouldn't go to your dentist and say, the dentist says, oh, this procedure is going to cost $1,000. And you say, well, I only have $500. Can you do it for that? The dentist is going to say, no, sorry. Let me maybe send you to another dentist that charges less money and maybe less competent, maybe isn't. But the answer is no. And as a professional, I believe your answer should be no. Now, in certain projects, what you can do instead of offering a discount is you can re-examine the scope. So you can say, well, no, I can't do these 6 things for half the price, but I could do these 3, could do the other 2 later, or you can use these 3, will get you, started on the initiative that you want to get underway, and then we can circle back on the other pieces. Or I'm happy to put you in touch with somebody, who's less seasoned and less experienced, who can possibly quote you a lower price that fits your budget better. Is that something that you'd like me to do? And that's providing that I think that they're a good client and I want to turn them over to somebody else. So that's one way to go. The other thing that I've been asked about is free trials. Like, oh, hey, can you just, write this little piece for me? I just need like a piece of my about page. And then, if it seems like it's a good fit, I have so much work. I need my whole website written. And you can say, no, I'd be happy to do a trial, but I'd like to do a paid trial. I'm really not in the business of doing free trials. I have found that never really pans out for me. So if you want to do a paid trial, I'd be happy to give you a price on that. Is that something you're interested in? People do not value what they do not pay for. And it's just a fact. I mean, if you spend money on something, you're going to follow up on it. If you don't spend money on it, you're indifferent. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't do it. And I think we don't respect people who are willing to give everything away for free because we wonder, do they value themselves and do they value their own offers if they're willing to just say, oh, sure, yeah, I'd be happy to do that. If you think about any other service professional, are you going to go to your dentist and say, hey, can you do a free trial? I have this cavity. I'd like you to treat it, fill it. And if I like the way you do it and I don't have pain after, I'll come back and you can do my other 3. And they'll be like, yeah, I don't think so. Are you going to ask your attorney or your physician or your accountant, hey, let me see, balance my books for this month. If the numbers look right, I'll hire you for the year. No. That doesn't happen. You wouldn't do that with a professional because you would expect them to say no, and you want to be that same professional and say no. You have a price. The price is the price. Now, I know if you're new, you're thinking, but damn, I just want to make some money and get some points on the board. And I don't blame you, and that's all well and good. The other situation I see is that people think, oh, I'm not there yet. I'm not good enough yet. And they're waiting for someone to confer status on you. Yes, you can go forth now and write email sequences. You are good enough. Yes, you're good at sales pages. Go forth. Conferring the authority never happens. So you have to confer it yourself. And that means you need to study. You need to build the skill set. But then you need to believe in yourself and your ability to do it and your ability to actually help a client achieve their end goals. And if you're not confident, probably what you need to work on is your confidence in your belief in yourself. Because ironically, that's going to make you more money in business than having the most rock solid skill set on the planet if you don't have these skills and the ability to run your business in a business-like way. I don't think you should discount. I think you can reduce the scope. I don't think you should offer free trials. I do think it's acceptable to do a paid trial. And a paid trial The nice thing about it is it has some flexibility around it. You don't need to get paid the amount for a trial that you'll get paid to create either the next pieces or similar pieces later on. I've done this for people. Like I had a client at one time, and it was challenging for me though, I have to admit. I had a client who needed advertorials in the wellness space. They used a lot of advertorials. So I knew actually that there was a lot of work there because they have a national reputation. I kind of knew them from the copy world. And they wanted me to do a trial. And I quoted them $6,200, and they wanted me to do a trial at like $3,500 or $4,000. And I said yes. The reason I said yes is because I still felt it was a fair amount of money. I knew for sure that if I got in and they liked my work, and I told them what my full price was, they knew, right? And they knew that if they liked me, this is what work would cost in the future. So that was already established. It wasn't going to be a thing of where I was going to have to say, well, actually, I got to charge you about 30% more than I charge you for the trial or whatever that figure is. No, that wasn't the case. The case was, let's do a trial. And I would ask, what's a positive trial for you? What's a good outcome? And if my copy pulls the way that they hope it will, then there would be more work. Now, I knew, again, with this client that there was, in fact, more work. I knew how much content that they were cranking out on a regular basis. And at that time, I was looking for more steady, regular clients. So I was willing to do that. I would not have been willing to do it for free because I think that would have compromised my integrity. I would have been seen as way less professional than I want to be viewed. And so that's, it's important to maintain this image in your own mind, of who you are, and keep your confidence level up because, these things can wear at your confidence, doing things for free, being paid less, because what it is not being fully respected. And if you're not respected enough on the outside, you start to disrespect yourself on the inside. And that's like the last thing you need as a business owner. What you need is to feel confident and assured. You don't need to be cocky. You don't need to be arrogant, but you do need to believe in yourself. You're never, I hope you aren't promising any results because we can't. I mean, when clients say to me, I really need this to work. And I'll say to them, look, the 3 rules of marketing are test, test, and test. We might hit this out of the park on the first go, and it might take some optimization and some iterating. That's how copy works. And don't worry about it. This is how we do it. And that's how I put them at ease and also tell them, no, I am not guaranteeing you that you're going to get results from this. And it's why I steer away from people's last dollars. I've had people who come to you and they're like, I have $5,000 to spend, but if this doesn't, pull for me, I'm going to be out of business. It's like, oh, that's way too much responsibility for me. I'm really sorry. I don't want to take your last $5,000. I mean, I just don't, because if it fails, I'm going to feel really bad and really responsible. So these are all our own parameters to decide, of course. But I think so much of it, in the end, comes down to your self-respect, so that you can create a sustainable business and that you can really believe that that the value you deliver is real and solid and worth being paid for and worth being paid well for. That's the goal. I'm not suggesting you're going to be there day one, but the more that you believe that and the more that you have to have that posture to be a successful business owner, the more you can sort of cultivate that. So you want to make sure that you're building the confidence and that you're keeping your skills up and that you feel that you're good at what you do. And I know we're always, I can still get a project with like a really big project with, that I'm charging a lot of money for and still have that moment, like the deer in the headlights moment, like, I can't sort this project out, even though I know I can and I've done it a million times. But know that you'll feel that way too. But what's the old expression? Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's how you become successful. And I'm not suggesting like signing up for things. I've done this. Sign up for things you don't know how to do yet and then learn as you go. It's very doable, but it's a steep learning curve and it's a lot of work. I encourage you to figure out how you can believe in yourself and your ability to problem solve, because that's going to come across when you talk to people. And what I mean by positioning, it's kind of how you see yourself. Do you see yourself as a discount copywriter who's willing to like, oh, sure, I'll discount. I just want the project. Sure, whatever you can pay, whatever payment terms you want. Or do you see yourself as the professional who says, yeah, I can do that. Here's what it costs. Here are my terms. Here's how it works. Here's what I'll deliver to you. Here's what you can expect from me as a service provider. All of those things position you as a serious professional. Consider that this is all outside of your skill set, the base thing that you're selling. This is all your business skills, and it's how you think about yourself and perceive yourself and how you project yourself into the marketplace. I know it's not easy, and I am not in the least a fan of fake it till you make it. I think internally you have to find somewhere that you feel like a real business person and that you feel like what you have to offer is valid and delivers value. And that's what I mean about positioning. You have to position yourself in the marketplace where you want to be seen and found. Because if you let the market determine where you should position yourself, not only will you get confused, but you will end up, I'm going to say, safely say, not commanding the kind of money that you want or that you could make. To sum up, my advice, don't discount, don't offer free trials, offer paid trials if need be, minimize the scope if you need to get to a smaller dollar amount, and if you can't come to terms, understand that it's not a fit and let it go. I honestly believe there are more clients out there that need copy than there are copywriters. What we have to deal with on our side as copywriters is the constant comparisonitis, comparing ourselves to others, the shiny object syndrome, procrastination, lack of focus, perfectionism, all the things that get in our way of just, sort of plowing fully forward on a pretty straight and narrow track on our business. We get thrown off by what other people are doing, by our own insecurities. And so what I want to suggest to you is make a decision, put on your blinders, work your plan. You will find good clients. You will improve your skills. I really think this career is so fabulous. I mean, you can make it whatever you want to make it be, and it's so worth figuring these things out. And I want to say one last thing, and if you pay any attention to these videos, you will have heard me say this before, but you want to fish in ponds where people buy copy. And there are certain niches where people are habituated to buying copy. Copy drives their business. They're used to buying it. And they respect copywriters, and they respect the kinds of fees that we charge. I have a document that talks about 6 different niches where people buy copy, and I tell you the pros and cons of each one. If you think that would help you, here's the link, amyposner.com, choose your niche. I'd be happy to send you that niching document. I sent it to someone earlier this week who told me, I read it 3 times in a row, it blew my mind, really opened my eyes to some possibilities. Happy to share that with you. And if you have any questions about any of this, pop them below. I'm always happy to answer. I do look at all the questions and comments, and if you'd like to be notified when this podcast drops, click the bell and you will be notified. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and bye for now.